Welcome to another episode of Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news and insights from Littlefield Agency.
Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield. With me is
Roop.
Roop, there he is, baby. We are live November 19th. And we're going to give you an early Christmas present. We're not going to record next week. That's a joke, right? We hope that's not an early Christmas present. You know, we realize we have a lot of clients traveling for Thanksgiving. I'm sure we have some prospective clients traveling as well.
Yeah.
You're in a thankful mood to be eating some breaking bread with family and enjoying time off with family and loved ones. So we want to be respectful of that time. So this is we're going to podcast this week. We're off next week, and we're back at it the week of December 2nd.
But you know who's not off next week?
Who's not off next week?
Beyond the Moon.
That is right.
Season 1 finale is next week.
Okay, tune in for that. That's actually super cool. I can't believe season 1 is already wrapping.
Oh, yeah, and we've already got season 2 and into 3 lined up.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. I know you guys have been working hard on that. Anyway, buddy, since we're not filming next week, Thanksgiving plans for the Roop family?
Well, normally I do the family thing here with my mom and dad and my sister and all that. But every so often, Carrie's sister, Marion, who lives in Boulder, Colorado, her birthday is around Thanksgiving, like your dad.
Yeah.
And when it lands on Thanksgiving, we actually go see her. So Wednesday, I'm getting in a plane and fighting the holiday traffic and going to Boulder.
Dude,
Yeah.
wow.
And come back
You
Saturday.
haven't told me this.
Yeah.
Well, that is good. You're going to be fighting some traffic.
I have never traveled by plane. Usually we drive.
Yeah.
This year we're flying. I've never traveled by plane on one of these big holiday traveling days. So
I think there's some good energy. I always enjoy it.
I want to experience it once in life, I think.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Also, just keep in mind, if you ever get frustrated, you don't have a 1.5-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. So just keep that in mind. If someone's being rude to you or snippy, or maybe you're just like, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
You don't have young children traveling.
If you were to ask Carrie, she'd say I'm at least a 5-year-old, though, in some of those situations.
So yeah, you're getting close. Well, we're actually staying put in Oklahoma this year. We usually travel. Tara and I do to go home to Colorado to see hang with her family. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been on 6 planes in the last 8 weeks, and it's nice to just be home.
Yeah,
you know, I love traveling. For the most part, we've had decent travel days, but I'm very just excited for some R&R and some good food and some family time and some football, baby.
And we have the agency Thanksgiving, Soupsgiving this week, right?
Yeah, some of you may not know this. We started this during COVID. We used to do a crazy huge Thanksgiving meal, and it was great. Brandon really loved it, to be honest.
He gave a thumbs up.
And then as we scaled back expenses during COVID, I had gone to a Soupsgiving. Which there's some really nice things about this. How many Thanksgiving meals sometimes do you eat within a 2-week period? A lot.
Too many.
And turkey is you can only eat turkey so many.
I don't even like turkey.
Yeah, and I like a smoked turkey. That's nice, but yes, I'm not craving turkey all the time. I've kind of been on a turkey pesto kick lately. Besides the point, we do Soupsgiving now, and when we did it in COVID, it was a hit. So what we do, we get a variety of soups. Potato soup, tomato soup, chili, chicken tortilla soup. I'm missing a couple of others. We get a variety of really good homemade breads. We do focaccia, we do cheesy bread, we do all this stuff. Of course, we do all the pies, etc.
That's the magic. The bread is the magic.
The bread is insane. Brandon had a genius idea. He was like, what if we make some grilled cheese for the tomato soup this year? And I was like, that's incredible.
Kicking it up a notch.
Right? So we're leveling it up. But anyway, the nice thing is, you have some soups, you have some bread, you have some dessert, have a glass of wine. We do this Friday at noon here at the agency. Sarah does a hell of a job decorating the space and
every event we have, she does a hell of a job.
Brandon brought the grilled cheese thing up to her, and she was like, "I got too much going on. I can't do grilled cheese." She's like, "You can," which we're going to explore it, but. Anyway, just kind of a nice mix-up, and it really has become my favorite Thanksgiving. I look forward to Soupsgiving over Thanksgiving.
Agreed.
And Claudia, this is your first Soupsgiving.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, she's really.
If there was football on while we were having Soupsgiving, it's the only thing that could make it better.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Someone invited me to golf at 11:30 this Friday. I was like, sorry, bro, Soupsgiving.
Soupsgiving.
And normally I'd be sad. Not at all. I love Soupsgiving. I look forward to this day.
It's a highlight.
So, we wish you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving. A good client friend of ours has taken a really cool trip with his family, and we wish him safe travels and just a great time to. I really do. I take this time to be very thankful. We're very thankful for our clients and for the agency and all the people that make up our staff. But Before I get too more emotional, I would like to jump into our marketing digital trend of the day, Claude.
By the way, I haven't watched your lo-fi content that you produced this week.
I did some lo-fi content on LinkedIn. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to put it on LinkedIn, but I did.
No, you put it on. You put it on LinkedIn. You just put it on your account, but
which Claude calls extremely lo-fi. I'd like to clarify. So don't judge.
If you feel like it's extremely lo-fi, please go and comment on his post. But did you actually tell people what the topic was this week?
No, I didn't. I actually showed them. So I failed. I did. Okay, I posted on LinkedIn. Didn't tell them the topic.
Okay.
But it was very lo-fi.
All of the decor.
I did show them a lot of the behind the scenes.
Some
decor.
behind the scenes, but so no one has gotten a preview of what we're about to do.
That's correct.
Okay,
so
that's why.
Lead us off, buddy. This is it. This is a good one in the sense of as you're thinking through content strategy for 2025. This is very timely for your brand. So, Roop, let's start it off, buddy.
Yeah, this week's topic is winning high-value customers with account-based marketing, ABM.
ABM, baby.
ABM. And
which I call always be marketing. You call it account-based marketing.
I didn't know what to call it. If you recall, you asked me, you mentioned ABM months ago, and I was like, what are you talking about? And you're like, you idiot.
That's your job.
You're like, you idiot, it's your job. I was like, oh, yeah, I call it something else. But anyhow, for the people like me that didn't know what ABM was initially, account-based marketing is what they call a strategic approach where marketing and sales teams collaborate to identify, target, and nurture high-value accounts rather than just casting a wide net.
Yes.
Which the first part of that sentence just seems like, shouldn't that just be how it always is, marketing and sales teams aligning to get leads? But this is more about a more narrow focus than just kind of like, a shotgun approach.
Yeah, and I've got a group of 15 realtors coming in tomorrow from an agency here in Tulsa. And one of the guys said, content's a huge focus of theirs. And he goes, it takes so much time, et cetera. And here's the thing, really good ABM takes a lot of time. And really, like the way that we approach it as an agency, I've got a little kind of doing the marketing funnel here as I scribble, scrabble. Understanding from awareness down to consideration to evaluation and purchase. What kind of content is your target audience digesting? What's the relevant messaging at each stage of the sales cycle and an awareness stage, right? You can't be selling them. So whenever they're coming through Meta, it can't be a very salesy thing if they're especially have never heard of your brand before. And that's one small example of content. But then we think of a lot of the long form content. Yeah, I mean, here we are podcasting to you. Some of you are listening today and you don't know Roop and I, and that's okay. We're just, this is a chance for you to get to hello. Hello there, lady. But anyway, so you think from podcasts to blogs to webinars and white papers to super short form content. Just understanding how your target audience is digesting said content and making sure it's relevant for them.
Yeah, that's the key. So I don't have it on the script here, but this is one of those things we've talked about before and we'll probably talk about forever is understanding who they are as people, right? Beyond just kind of demographics, like we call them persona building. Yep. That's one thing you can do. But like understanding them, their likes, their dislikes, their pain points, questions they may have about how to do their job or how your product or service can align to help them do their job. Understanding that stuff beyond just males in their mid-40s in the Midwest that, like golf, I guess. I don't know. Like you get a little bit more specific than just the demographics that tend to show up in basic targeting.
We had a client years ago, I won't name the name, they're no longer a client, that found zero value in persona work. And as soon as that came out of his mouth, I was like, that's it was a short-sighted view. Now, he said that he had spent a lot of money with another agency and just I don't think that agency translated the value, so maybe he had just a bad taste in his mouth. But here's the thing. You hit the nail on the head here by a male in his 40s, whatever, that likes golf. That's interesting, right? That gets in the emotion and soft. Do they drink? Do they not drink? Do they drink bourbon? Do they listen to country music? Do they have children? I mean, those sorts of things.
Do they watch golf or play golf? What's their handicap? What kind of clubs do they like? Who are their favorite golfers?
Have you been doing work? What kind of research are you doing on me, huh? I love that you know about a handicap. But no, I mean, some people, that's so soft. Oh, that's ridiculous. No, it actually informs a lot of very important information as we think about, moving them down your marketing and sales funnel.
Yeah, when you're experiencing this content every day on the internet and out in life, the things you're reacting to aren't by accident. when it's done right. Someone has figured out who you are. They understand your likes, your dislikes, and the things that you're going to react to or feel an affinity for. So that's the kind of content they're creating. You're just trying to get some stickiness there with a brand. Like they understand who I am as a person. This relates to me. It's relevant, and I like this XYZ that they included. And that's the beginning of it.
Yeah, and I look at this, extremely lo-fi content that I just posted. Gives you a taste for who I am. It gives you a taste for our agency. It gives you a taste for the brand. And that's the other thing. This doesn't have to just be from the brand. This could be from, key thought leaders within your space. That's you all have product managers and product engineers and really smart salespeople that all can play a role in this kind of content program.
And, the content's doing those touch points with that audience when your sales team is not. So you kind of have a constant back and forth tag team almost, getting that person ready and moving them along the sales cycle, which one of the notes here for ABM they said was shorten sales cycles, which I think is true. Like we've kind of experienced that here. So it's not just like a theory, it's actually a thing that works, and we've seen it work. One of the things that goes along with this, though, is this is where you're like, it's your job. People say, do you need a CRM like this? Something like HubSpot or Salesforce. And yeah, you do. I put kinda here on the script, but you do need to manage. You totally do. You do need to manage and share targeted customer interactions and movements through the sales cycle with your sales team and your sales team with the marketing team.
I talked to someone recently asking, he's a friend, and I was like, hey, does your company have a CRM? He's like, yeah. He goes, to be honest, I'm the only person that uses it.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he uses it. He sees value in it. He's an excellent marketer for himself and for his company. I'm super impressed by him. But that's the tricky thing too. A lot of people, CRM, that's an email platform. Oh, no. So much more. Some of the ways that you and Claudia are using it with our clients is really incredible. I call it the power of a good CRM. There's tons of good CRMs. We're a HubSpot certified partner. There's Salesforce, Marketo, et cetera. My buddy that uses one is something I've never heard of before, but I'm sure it's a great platform. Taking time and understanding the ins and outs and the nuances of your CRM is largely beneficial to your organization.
Yeah.
And our clients are catching on to that. It's been really cool to see some of the magic behind whatever tech platform it is.
Yeah, you have to have some way to share this information back and forth, and CRMs just do it.
So let's talk about challenges, right? Let's this sounds great. And here's something that's really interesting. My wife is a dentist, and she just got back. She was in Arizona last weekend you have to take continuing education courses. Super proud of her, and this is very relevant to this, by the way. Very proud of her because I think this is the first time she owns her practice. She's like jazzed. She's enthused. And you know what she said to me? And we have a to-do list on our phones for Littlefield Dentistry. And she was like, honey, content. And she was like, put a bunch of exclamation points. Speak my language, honey. But here's the thing. I was like, it takes time. Yeah. And she showed me someone at this continuing education course that's down in Dallas. She's already posted actually lo-fi content. It's her and her practice. She said, hey, just got back from this great CE course. The benefit to you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, is this. Reach out today. A little more salesy, but hey, really good content.
Yeah.
The number one challenge, time. Thinking through the strategy, creating the content. It's a lot. So Roop, this is your role.
Yeah.
Walk us through what are you seeing with our clients and what are you and Claude? Because this is a hefty thing to take on as you approach the new year.
Yeah. So it isn't some. This is not part of what I would say is sometimes a one-man marketing band. It would be very tough if you were a single marketer in an organization and in charge of the media and the creative and the CRM and all. That would be tough.
I just talked to someone, Betsy. She's in Tennessee and she's the one-woman band.
I feel for those folks, and they definitely can leverage and use these tools to make their job faster and more efficient. But in as it relates to ABM here, this is really a team sport. You have your marketing team and your sales team, and they're working together inside this tool to using that content to bring in and identify those targets or those best leads, and that makes it easier for the sales team theoretically to close that. But what does that content look like, and how do you come up with it? It's not just, Claudia and I aren't just sitting down and kind of just brainstorming ideas. We start with research.
Yes. And
that comes from understanding like we mentioned earlier, the personas, what their fears and their challenges and what their days look like as a human, not as a number in a spreadsheet, but who are they as humans, and how can we answer their questions? How can we create content that reaches them? And that content isn't always going to be a blog. Sometimes it's a video. Sometimes it's a polished video. Sometimes it's lo-fi content, which we just talked about. Lo-fi just being stuff you shoot on your phone and there's very little editing, music, or lighting done to it. Sometimes it's a podcast, like what we're doing right now, because we reach audiences that we otherwise wouldn't be able to reach through this platform. But you kind of strategize and kind of put your pieces together and develop from there. And you set goals. The easiest thing to do when you're a content creator is to procrastinate it, or to say, hey, I got one piece out this quarter, I've done a good job. If it's a rockin' good piece and it's got insane value,
absolutely.
then that time was well worth it. But generally, we find you need to cast a pretty wide net in content so that you can find what's working and what doesn't, and iterate from there.
Always be testing content.
Yes.
That's a kind of a general rule of thumb for us. I pulled up here on my computer. Everyone at the agency subscribes to The Hustle. It's kind of your latest business trends in your inbox every day. It's fantastic. I think HubSpot bought The Hustle a couple years back. The leading headline this morning: if you were under 30, nearly 40% of young adults get their news from social media influencers, according to a new Pew Research Center data. While they might one-up us on viral dances, 84% of TikTok's new influencers haven't worked in journalism, but 3/4 try to make money off their analysis. What?
Yeah, I saw that too.
It's crazy. But also that's the world that we're living in. And here's the thing: you're thinking, oh, I'm a B2B brand, or I'm a financial institution, or I'm set to. No, it's a great form of lo-fi thought leadership, even if it's not much thought leadership.
Jump in, tell your story before someone else does, and be present. That's the main thing. But turn your big complicated strategic documents with specs and all this into simple how-to videos. Break that stuff down. You don't have to take a 40-page document and shove that down people's throats. Find the sections of it that matter, that answer those questions, and make those little bite-sized pieces of content you can toss out.
And here's the thing, right? That's just one part of your ABM strategy. You've got other great. You might have a wonderful white paper to share, and that's okay, right? Like that's if they're on their website and they're looking, or you've got a YouTube series of how-to. Great, translate those to. I mean, just the opportunity for content these days is insane, which is why we're talking about this.
As we get to the end here, we've talked a lot about inbound before, not just the thing we go to in Boston, but as a concept, inbound marketing. And I thought this was kind of key. There is a difference between account-based marketing and inbound marketing.
Yeah.
By the way, the best is when they both work together. But the difference is account-based marketing is when you have a sales team and a marketing team in the same system working together and moving the business forward.
Sounds beautiful. That's the goal.
That's account-based marketing. Inbound marketing is when you're really trying to build that brand awareness and bring traffic in. It is a little bit more of a wide net, but still focused on your audience. And that's good when you've got like a dealership a dealership network maybe, and you're not interacting directly with all of those dealers as your sales team inside a CRM. You're still prepping those leads for them when they get handed off to them. It's a small difference, but if you're in the middle of it, it's a pretty big one. If you can do these things together and you have an inbound approach,
1-2 punch, baby.
Yeah, passing people off to the sales team, then that's where you really have the highest opportunity to shine.
So this is some food for thought. Some of you are doing a great job on the ABM front, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to you. Keep it up. Content's always changing. It's always evolving. Who knows what we're going to be talking about in March or April of 2025?
Probably AI still.
And then there's a lot of 100%. And then there's a lot of you that are just dipping your toe in, and that's okay too, right? It is by no means an easy task to do.
It's not a one size fits all. Everybody has their own kind of customized solution to fit their organization and their business.
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
We always talk about it. We're going on. This is our third full year of the podcast. We started somewhere. We started in a basement.
It's our third full year of the podcast.
Yeah,
but the podcast existed like 4 or 5 iterations before.
And it was all over the place, which is why Chelsea's no longer a host. God, a guy. See, the thing is, she's not going to listen, so she's never going to.
You want to know what she did this morning?
What's that?
She sent me a note on Slack and said, "Hey, how were the numbers for my appearance last week on the podcast?
Oh,
were they
stats?
Did they make your numbers better?" And I had to reluctantly say, "Yes, we were up 25% over our normal."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
She does. She still has value.
Well, what I love too is I heard from her dad saying that she should get a company credit card.
I
Adriana is a client of ours and said that she should get a company credit card. I think she's met Chelsea in passing. I thought that was hilarious. Chelsea has still not gotten a company credit card, so I'm just going to throw that out there right now. But anyway, so that's a wrap on this week's episode. Like I said, we're off next week. Roop, I like this just heading into the new year. And seriously, on behalf of the agency, thank you for listening. We love doing this, almost every week of the year.
Yeah.
And you all have a fabulous and wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends.
And if you have questions about ABM, ask Sam. Ask us both.
Ask Roop, really. You should ask Roop. So we'll see you. Happy Thanksgiving. And here's the crazy thing. We'll see you in December.
Yikes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat and found ways to grow your own marketing strategies. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media @Littlefield Agency.